So it's fair to say it's a new era at Red Bull. For the first time since the team entered Formula 1 back in 2005, they are entering a race weekend without Christian Horner involved with the team. Horner was the team principal at Red Bull for 20 years and was also the CEO by the time he was sacked just a few weeks ago. Lauren Makes has stepped up from the Racing Bulls team and now has assumed the team principal role. But what does their lead man Verstappen think of this? How is he going into this weekend? Well, I'm recording this after sprint qualifying. He's certainly not rattled by this decision as he's qualified a very impressive second place for tomorrow's sprint race and could well win the sprint race tomorrow at what is effectively his home circuit. Of course, he does race under a Dutch licence, but he was born and I believe raised as well in Belgium. Spa-Franco is effectively his local track. So let's have a look at what he's been saying, because it's fair to say that the media has been very keen to see what he has had to say about all this. Not only has he had a massive crowd this weekend in Belgium coming to his press day on Thursday, but he also had a massive crowd as well on Thursday before the British Grand Prix as well. So very much a man in demand is the four-time world champion. But let's have a look at what the Flying Dutchman has had to say about Horner's departure. Full article here on the F1Chronicle.com as always. Max Verstappen says that Christian Horner's shock dismissal will not affect his future, insisting Red Bull must now focus on performance and, quote, looking ahead under new boss Lauren Makes. Speaking at Spa-Francorchamps on Thursday, Verstappen addressed the long-rumoured power struggle that had culminated in Horner's ousting, a move reportedly driven by Red Bull's Austrian leadership and key Verstappen allies including Helmut Marko and his father Jos. In Formula 1, the changes are like football, Marko told Kleine Zeitung. If things don't work out, the coach simply has to go. He's actually pretty spot on with that reference, to be honest, but 20 years, the Alex Ferguson of Red Bull in effect, you know, the guy who's been there for so many years, part of the furniture. To see Horner go like this at this time, I think everybody was surprised at that, but yeah, Marko may well have had a hand in that, you never know. Verstappen told a huge gaggle of journalists at Spa, if you look back on the more than 20 years of Red Bull racing, you can see that we've had many great years with strong results. Of course, there were also times when things weren't going so well, and I think the last year and a half haven't gone as planned. Management has decided that a different direction is needed, and everyone else has to agree and look forward, and I'm looking forward. Of course, Verstappen himself was very heavily rumoured to be one of the key decision makers, one of the key factors in Horner's sacking, but that is yet to be confirmed, and I doubt we will ever have that confirmed. But have your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Have your say on that. I want to hear what you have to say about that, as always. Verstappen said that he learned of Horner's dismissal maybe half a day beforehand from shareholders Mark Mateschitz and Charlem Yavida. They run the team, and I am the driver. It's their right to do what they want, he said. Asked if the removal of Horner would impact his commitment to the team, Verstappen replied, "It has no influence on what I'm doing. From my side, there's nothing to say about my future. I'm happy where I'm at." He added, "There's also a possibility I won't wake up tomorrow. Life is unpredictable." Sorry, I can't help but laugh at ever the optimist there, Max. I might just die tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. Anything can happen, but come on, man. As it turns out, he did wake up tomorrow and he got second place in the sprint qualifying. So man is still alive as far as I'm aware. Life is unpredictable. Overall, I'm just happy where I am. The goal was to always finish my career here. When asked directly about reports linking him to Mercedes, Verstappen played it down with a shrug, including his reported meet-up with Toto Wolff in Sardinia. Of course, they were reportedly very close. Their yachts were very close on that Italian island. So there are rumours that they may have, met up at some point, but yeah, I don't think that happened. Verstappen said on this, and I quote, "I was on vacation with friends and family. If other people happen to be there at the same time, yeah, that can happen," said the quadruple world champion. On the obvious tension between Horner and his father, Jos, arguments like that are not nice and unnecessary, but people can have different opinions, and if everyone agrees, then there's a problem. Despite the speculation, though, Verstappen maintains that his relationship with Horner remains intact. "I've spoken to Christian. I spoke to him even today," Verstappen said. "That relationship will never change. We've experienced so many things together. From my side, the team feels like a second family, and Christian is included in that." Verstappen also praised Makes, who officially takes over at Spa. "I like Lauren. He's a nice guy and a very smart person. The last 2 weeks have been quite intense for him, but he's incredibly motivated. You can see the fire burning inside him." Marco, speaking to Kleiner Zeitung, defended the leadership transition. The transition went very well. Lauren knows people, he approaches people. Hopefully that will have a positive effect, he said, dismissing rumours of internal resignations. Makis has already adjusted a few details in the simulator preparation. He focuses more on racing action and is less involved in other departments. His responsibilities as team principal have been reduced compared to Horner's. Makis himself told F1.com that the team remains fully aligned behind Verstappen. Red Bull is hugely committed to Max, he said. He is central to the project and we need his magic at the racetrack. The best way to show that commitment is by giving him the best possible car. This weekend, Red Bull has introduced a new front wing at Spa, part of what Marco described as a critical update to close the gap to rivals. It's also one of Max's favourite tracks where he's expected his talents will shine. It's also one of Max's favourite tracks where his exceptional talent shines through, Marco added. We hope to be right up there with the front runners. And given the evidence so far, seems like they are, in fairness. Even Lewis Hamilton weighed in on Horner's exit, calling it remarkable what he did with the team and noting their long history. I wouldn't say we hit it off at the get-go, Hamilton said of the early meeting in 2005, but clearly he ran an organisation with talent and skill and I wish him all the best. As for Verstappen, he remains focused but non-committal. We have to just keep working and get the performance here on the track, he said. There's no point looking back. It doesn't make you faster. Don't look back in anger. Heard you say. Oasis are touring right now. I couldn't resist that. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's interesting. It's all about what you believe at the end of the day. Do you think that Verstappen had something to do with Horner being axed? We're never going to know. Horner's never going to say it if he even knows that. Verstappen sure as hell isn't going to say it. Neither is Verstappen Senior or Marco or anybody else involved in that. Nobody's going to admit to that if that is the case. But we'll have to see. You know, I mean, I said it at the time, it came as a huge shock. It was a huge shock. Looking back now, with some benefit of hindsight, I understand the decision to an extent. It's just the timing of it. I'm very much with Zach Brown when I brought you that story earlier this week as well. Zach Brown basically saying, look, you know, I'm not too surprised Horner's gone, but the timing of it is odd. To get rid of your team principal and CEO, the guy who's been there since the very start, a day oneer for Red Bull, mid-season like this, it really does stink, and it does feel like there's something that's happened. Maybe something has happened with, you know, the accuser, the plaintiff in that case about, you know, the harassment over in the workplace, or the alleged harassment, I should say. You know, that is reportedly going to a civil trial next year in 2026. Maybe they got a bit of an inside line on that. Maybe they wanted to cut ties before that kind of came down on them. I don't know. Maybe they've been looking to get rid of him anyway. Maybe the likes of Marco and Verstappen want more influence in that team and they wanted to get rid of Christian Horner. I don't know, guys. I mean, there's a lot of interesting theories about all this, and we're never going to know. We're never going to know the truth. Nobody's going to tell the truth on this one. Maybe years and years down the line if Christian Horner does like an autobiography after he's retired from Formula One, but that's probably not going to be for another 10 or so years at least. And is Horner going to come back? Is he going to come back into Formula One? Who is he going to return with? If he is going to return. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. I want to hear what you have to say as always on this. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, guys. Have a fantastic day here in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.